everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast. And we're going to do something a little different this week, Matt and I. We're going to talk playoff baseball. And before I move on, Matt Shadow with us. As always, Kevin Mulder is on assignment.
He's on assignment, yes. He's watching baseball, state baseball.
Exactly. He went down to Springfield. I think he wanted to catch that Kennett Logan Rogersville game today, which I don't blame him. I would have too. I think that's going to be a very good baseball game.
Well, I mean, kudos to Kevin for doing his job, right? That is what he's supposed to do, is watch
baseball.
High school baseball.
Right.
He is the Missouri PBR guy.
Yes.
So.
That's what he does.
Hey, pays the bills, buddy. Go watch baseball.
Exactly. And before I get too far down the road, I got to give a shout out to a couple of dudes. We were at the Cardinal game last night. Anthony and Garrett enjoyed watching baseball with these two young guys. Anthony plays with the St. Louis Pirates. Man, they knew it. We're watching. He goes, he's calling pitches. Going to throw a changeup here, and he's throwing the changeup. He was on top of it. He's in the game, man. It was really good.
Should be the commentary guy. He come right here, sit right in the middle.
And we're watching the pitcher Garcia come in. He's got a changeup grip. I was like, you're right, dude. You're on top of it. He knew what he was going. Anthony knew what was going on. Enjoyed talking to parents, great people, very nice. Had a lot of fun at the ballpark, and the Cardinals won.
That's good.
Yes. So Anthony, Garrett, big shout out, guys. Glad they subscribed and watching. Appreciate you watching, guys. Good luck the rest of the season. So let's.
Did you sign autographs?
No,
Did
I
you
wouldn't.
take selfies.
No, no.
Maybe next time.
No. We just chatting
could be like
baseball. We're just chatting baseball.
You could be like the Cardinal Cowboy guy, right? But instead, you're the youth baseball Midwest guy, and you're just walking around, just taking selfies with people.
That might be fun.
I would find it very funny.
No, I said funny. I said funny. You said funny. There you go. There it is. So, but we're going to start off today in Class 5. And tomorrow we'll have Class 6, and we'll go through all that. And we got some interviews today and tomorrow with the GAC teams headed to the big dance for Zumwalt East and Francis Howell High School. So let's jump right into this. And we're going to have some interviews throughout this today's podcast we got Coach Hill and Coach Loutzy there first. I think it's really even more interesting in that they won their first district title, and now they're heading to state in that same year. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Well, Zumwalt East, who you cannot pick to win because if you do, they will lose. Remember? I'm telling you. Grandma's going to come after you, or mom, or whoever it was.
It was fun. I was talking with Grandma Carter at the ball game on Saturday. It was a lot of fun there. We big shout out to Tim Grimes, the AD there. Known him a long time, and he was very excited. I'm glad for East and all those guys that in that program.
No, I mean, they've had a lot of talent over the years, and we will continue to pick them to lose so they do win.
Exactly. That's the strategy right now, right?
Yes.
Exactly. I got a chance to talk with Luke Aubashan. I'll tell you, I really like Luke Aubashan. Good kid. He wanted the ball. At the end of that game, Gibson was on the mound. Got into a little trouble, and Coach kind of starts to, get up and kind of look. Aubashan's walking to the mound. He's like, let's go.
He's I've known Aubashan for a while. He's a really good kid. He's more of a quiet ball player, but he's a strike thrower. He's normally, shin to knee high with everything he throws, pounds the zone. So he's always been a kid that's never been afraid to throw or play in a high-level situation. So that doesn't surprise me at all. And kudos to him and some other kids on that team that I've personally known, Jackson Penn, Parker Davis, really good kids, and I'm excited for them and to experience this, especially Parker and Luke, because this is their senior year.
Absolutely, bud. Absolutely.
And I've known those kids since they were 13 years old, so it's fun for them.
Let's roll up. We'll go over here and check out what Luke Aubashan had to say, and we'll follow up with Alex Huebner. It is Huebner, actually. So we got to correct that. We've been pronouncing that Huebner, but it is
Did you get hate mail?
I did not get any hate mail, and actually Alex was very nice about it.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, so let's roll those. Guys, we're out here for Zumwalt East. I have to my left Luke Aubashan. Luke, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I was out here for the district final. You were on the mound.
Yep.
Finishing that game. What was that like?
Well, I've just been doing it all year, so it wasn't nothing new to me. You know, pressure's a state of mind, Coach always says. So just go out there and do my thing.
Your senior year, did you think when you started that this is where you would be your senior year?
I mean, yeah, we were gonna give it all we got. You know, just we always wanted to win a district championship, obviously, but getting to this point, it's crazy, especially doing it first sport in the school to go to Final Four. So it's something amazing.
So when you finish off Dominic, you guys were facing Parkway Central, a team you'd played, familiar with.
Yep.
What was your mindset going into that?
I knew we could win that game. You know, we just been playing off baseball. You know, back late in the season, but we found a groove and just kept the foot on the gas, and we're still going. So
you've been the anchor in that defense all year, playing shortstop. How do you think your leadership is translated into the success of the team?
Yeah, just you make a bad play, you stay up, keep the boys in it, and taking every practice rep like it's a game like rep, staying ready for the game.
I thought it was great. I'm up here on the top shelf over here watching, and Gibson had gotten into a little try of that ninth, and I see you just kind of like, come on, Coach,
yeah,
I'm ready to go.
I was ready.
I mean, you were good. Let's finish this and go on, right?
I got the confidence, man. Just give me the ball and I'll get the job done.
I love it. So first trip, how are you approaching this?
I've traveled, my whole life with baseball, and we traveled earlier in the season down to Columbia and Jeff City, so it's nothing new, Go down there, stay locked in, don't let the moment get too big, focus on one game at a time.
Very good. Luke Aubashan, folks. Hey, man, again, congrats. We're looking forward to seeing you down there.
Appreciate it.
All right, folks, I'm out here to my left with Alex Huebner. We have destroyed his name all season long, but he's been really good about it. We appreciate that.
Not a problem.
But we have it correct now. But Alex, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Had a great season at the top of this order. What have you done to really kind of just set the table? How have you taken those approach to being the leadoff hitter?
Well, I mean, I've just kind of taken my role wherever I've been, because at the beginning of the season I was down towards the end, 7, 9 at times. I mean, but I've been hitting leadoff for like 9 years before this, so I'm kind of used to it. So I just kind of went with the flow and just tried to get on, really.
That's what it's about, right?
Right.
Get on base.
That's it, yeah.
So you're senior this year, the leadership that way. How have you taken that role, and what have you done to help these guys come together?
Well, I mean, I couldn't do it by myself. Aubie and Parker have been great with that too. But I mean, really it's just about trying to make sure they stay in the moment. A lot of them, I'm guilty of it too. We all get ahead of ourselves sometimes, but we all try and stay positive, pick each other up, really, and it just works out. We're a great team, so. Very
good. So you got Dominic.
Yeah.
That was a tough game, wasn't it?
It was a tough game, but it was a fun one.
Yeah, and the thing of it was a tale of two days, right?
Gosh, yeah.
How was that? How was that like that overnight?
It was really scary, to be honest, because we were feeling really good the first day. McGill was doing really good. It really was an advantage towards them. So all we had to do was just kind of, pick up where we left off. Try not to. I mean, Hill said in one of your other podcasts, he said you put that 0-0 score up on the scoreboard, and that really helped us a lot, I think, because we knew they weren't going to sit with just one run, so we had to put some more up there.
And
that's what we did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then Another foe, Parkway Central, good quality. I mean,
They are a very good team, yeah.
What was the mindset going there?
Well, I mean, we knew we got crushed last time we beat them. But really, what we've been doing all year, we had our highs and lows, but we just went back to being a team, being together, going back to the fundamentals, and just hit the ball, play good defense, and it all came together in the end. So,
Right, it's a simple game.
That's all you can do.
So you're going to the state playoffs.
Yeah.
Is that something you imagine, in your freshman year, that you'd be a senior going to the state finals?
To be honest, my freshman year, I was debating even playing. I'll be honest. Louts loves to remind me. He says, I remember this little guy who came up to me and was like, I don't know if I'm going to play. But here I am. I never would have imagined we're going to state. Heck, districts was a shock to me. So, but we're all happy we're here and going to have fun. It's going to be great.
First time. Congrats again. Good luck to you, young man.
Thank you.
Alex Huebner, guys.
I'll tell you too, Matt, I found that in talking to these two guys, I really liked Huebner. Good kid, smart kid. He's going to S&T. Right there kind of says it all.
I mean, he's probably going to end up designing some cool building or some sort of engineering.
Yep.
But S&T has always had a really good baseball team, though.
Right.
The last I can't say I know what the record is this year, but they've always had really good programs. We've sent kids there before, so it's great school, good program. I think the baseball program gets overlooked there because it's more of a brainiac school.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
So
exactly.
And I know a couple kids that went there that didn't play baseball that are super smart. So.
And looking forward to watching Luke Aubashan through the rest of this. He's going to McKendree in the fall. So big shout out to those guys. And then two guys that you mentioned that we got to talk to that about, Parker Davis, Jackson Penn. Tell us a little bit about those guys, Matt, and your experience with them.
Jackson Penn, obviously catcher. He's been a big factor for Zumwalt East. He had a home run, I believe, again in the Parkway Central game, correct?
Did he?
I think he hit a home
yes.
run. He's always played up. He's a junior, but he's always played with Luke Aubashan.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he got into high school, he started playing with Parker Davis. Parker Davis is just a great kid, good family. Not that Luke Aubashan has good family too, but Parker Davis is also a very intelligent kid. Always works hard. Never going to be outworked. And I'm really excited for both of those two and Luke, Parker, and Jackson, just because that I've known them. And there's a lot of kids that have gone through East. There's a lot of talent that has gone through that school. And I think this run is just, hopefully you can get the alumni, all the kids that have played there to come support them and say, hey, finally we overcame the hump to get there. So let's go support our school.
We had a chance to talk with both Parker and Jackson, so let's check those out.
Okay, guys, Parker Davis here. Parker, congrats, bud.
Thank you.
Big
Feels nice.
season, right? Yeah. So we're out here getting ready for the state finals. Let's go back to the season. Senior. When you started this season out, you guys were on a roll pretty good.
We were.
Kind of stumbled to the end.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster for sure.
What were you doing as a senior to try and just keep guys moving towards that?
We just had to get back to what we were doing at the beginning of the season. Our mojo wasn't there, and we just did everything we could to get it back. The little things.
It becomes a simple game, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So you've been in that lineup, right in the middle of it, and whatnot. How have you taken your approach, in those situations? Guys have been on. You guys have scored a lot of runs.
Yep.
How have you approached that?
We just try to get people on, and then once they run, we get them over and we get them in. It's the little phrase coaches say to people all the time. Yeah.
It seems easy, doesn't it?
It does.
But when you're facing guys, okay, and let's get to this. You're in districts, right?
Yep.
You got there. You beat
McClure North, and then a good Hannibal team.
They were good.
And then you're facing St. Dominic.
Yeah.
Talented guys.
Very talented.
How are those at bats?
You just got to do the little things right. I mean, if someone gets on, you got to get them over and get them in every inning. You got to take advantage of it.
Productive outs,
For
even,
sure.
right?
That's what we were talking about that Monday morning meeting. We talked about productive outs, and we did it that week.
Very good, very good. So, Parkway Central, tough team, whatnot. What was the mindset going into that game?
Score as many runs as you can, because they're going to come back. They hit.
Those guys can hit, can't they?
And
you know,
even at the
Ciervo
end.
at the top there, and the catcher. I don't know what the catcher's name is, and that's terrible. But that kid can rake, can't he?
The top of the order can rake for sure.
Wow. But you guys hung in there. I thought McGill got some big outs.
He did.
Right?
He's pitching good. He's missing barrels. That's really all you need. That's all you can ask.
So leadership, Huebner, Aubachon, yourself.
Yeah.
How have you guys worked together to keep this team going?
Yeah, we're all in the same mindset. No different opinions anywhere on this team. We just all click with each other, for sure.
That makes a plus, doesn't it?
It
When
does.
everybody's on the same page, huh?
Yeah, it does.
State finals, right?
First time.
First time school history, first time school district championship. What does that mean to you? You know, you started in this program, you're a senior now. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot. It's the people around us, though. It's not just one person on this team. We're all just chipping in from the top of the order to the people helping get in foul balls. I mean, it's been a team effort for sure.
Outstanding. Good luck to you, young man.
Thank you.
Parker Davis, folks. We're got one more gentleman we want to speak with, Jackson Penn. And Bubba's taking a beating back here. We're making sure we ain't getting hit with some balls. But Jackson been behind the plate all year for the East Lions, and you've had some ups and downs with the pitching staff. Mm-hmm. You lost Justin Smith.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Brendan Jackson, both of those were tough losses.
And Brendan's back a little bit, but it was toward the end of the season. It's when you guys went on that kind of skid, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily blame them because we all played bad, but they definitely could help out.
It does when you don't have that guy on the mound.
Yeah.
Because we saw Justin at South, and
That was a good game.
he dominated South.
Yeah, he did.
And so that's a real big blow. But Brendan's back. Lucas McGill has stepped up.
Yeah.
Big.
I mean, it was been big.
And he pitched very well in
Yeah,
both the district final and then the quarterfinals.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah? Talk a
Yeah.
little bit about Lucas.
The quarterfinal, or not, the district final, he got gypped on that because he only got to throw 5 innings. He's pretty upset about that. I was also upset because I know he could have gone longer. He was dealing that day. The quarterfinal, he got taken out in the 5th too, which sucked, but his arm hurt and he came in to close it out. But yeah, he pitched amazing both games.
Gibson's been really good coming out of the pen there. Talk a little bit about that.
He's a great closer. He's super nasty with all his stuff. It makes him really tough to hit.
So as a catcher, you've got these different guys, these person. How have you kept that train moving, keeping the guys throwing strikes, keeping them all on the same page, throwing, what is it about yourself and the relationship with your pitchers that has helped you guys have success?
I feel like I just know them so well. Like I can tell when something's wrong. I can tell when they're upset. And that's when I call time, go out there, talk to them, calm them down. And then they just keep throwing strikes. Good job, Caleb.
Bubba again.
Surprised she's still standing.
But so let's finish up here. You got through St. Dominic, tough team.
Yeah.
You got through Parkway Central. As the catcher, you're kind of that field general on the field. How are you taking that leadership role as you guys move down there?
I always keep in my mind that everybody's looking at me, so I can't have bad energy, bad attitude. Everybody's staring at me. I gotta keep them up. So I gotta keep doing that.
It's a lot. Can it be sometimes overwhelming, or do you just do you want that challenge?
I don't mind it because if I feel like negative energy, I just have to remember it's not. It makes it better for me, honestly.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Congrats again, man.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Jackson Penn, guys.
Okay.
last, the coaching staff. Now, I've known these guys, of course, because Justin started, as a freshman at East, and
hold on. His name is Mr. Producer. To the audience.
Mr. Producer
the
over
audience.
there.
Okay.
Mr. Producer over there played at Fort Zumwalt East, and thank you for the correction.
Well, they don't know who Justin is, but they know who Mr. Producer is, right? Okay.
That's right. So
his real name's Justin, but nobody calls him that
anymore. We had a chance to talk with the coaching staff. John Varner, who had been who's a freshman coach, he's now a JV coach. Anthony Weibers went on over. He's an administrator at Fort Zumwalt West now, and he was the JV coach there a long time. I think that's they've been real stable in their coaching throughout. They've had the same guys there since that school started, really. Even is it Jerkovich, Justin? Jerkins, excuse me. Coach Jerkins, who's been, I think he's been a volunteer, part of that staff for a long time. So they've had stability in the coaching there. They know what they do. They're working toward it. And I thought it was interesting how they've approached this year. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But we got a chance to talk with Coach Varner and Coach Hill and Coach Loutzy. So let's roll that, and we'll come back and get your thoughts.
Guys, I got Coach John Varner, who has been with the program since the beginning. My son is a freshman. He played for him. He was the freshman coach. Took over as JV coach,
This past year, after Coach Weiber went on to greener pastures.
You've seen all these kids come through the program.
Yeah.
That's got to mean a lot to you that you're now they've taken that next step. They got to state.
I think the coolest part is, you get them when they're 14 and they're 15, and then they start to develop, physically, maturely, and now they're grown men. You know what I mean? Some of these guys are 18 years old, they're graduating, and they're off, to do the world. And I think that's the cool part. As each year they've improved, we've begun to improve too. So I think that's pretty special. It's pretty special for me, and I know it's special for these guys too. So.
And I've seen you here as part of the coaching staff, from through the districts, through the playoffs. What was that game like, St. Dominic? The emotions of it, right?
It's like a roller coaster ride, and it's just kind of who's going to make the mistakes and who's going to play a clean game. And for the most part, we played a clean game, but the emotional side of it, playing 4.5 innings, and then having to come back and try to kind of turn it down for a second and then re-hit that gear to kind of fire it up, because you don't know what's going to happen. And I think it just made it even more sweeter. Just a little bit of adversity, first time, we'll take it any we can. It's, history, what I mean? And that's the word I use is history, and we talk about the guys, last week, you're just fighting for a little bit more time. You're fighting for time with just your brothers, play the game a little bit longer, and and just this whole situation has been great.
How are you taking on this role? When you're talking to the kids, I see you over there working with some of the pitchers, talking to them. What are you talking to them about? Because most of these kids have never been in this kind of situation.
I think you try to keep it as simple as possible, and you just try to keep to the routine, and we're not reinventing the wheel. We're not doing anything special going in, we're trying to keep things as simple as you can. Enjoy every minute of this, and soak it in, but at the end of the day, we're still trying to, win on Friday, and we're going down there for a business trip. But I think just soaking it all in. I'm the energetic guy, whatever they need me to do. But especially the younger guys, kind of as they figure it out, I'm just kind of their go-to guy right now. So
awesome, Coach.
I appreciate you,
John.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man. John Varner, guys.
Thanks.
What has this experience meant to me? It's super memorable for many reasons. For one, obviously our first district championship and our first trip to the Final Four, so it's a big deal for us. But it's memorable because of all the blood, sweat, and tears we put in for so long, for 15 years. And as alumni, they didn't get this luxury, but yet they're putting in blood, sweat, and tears through all these years. So it's been memorable for many reasons. It's a great group. So yeah.
I have thoroughly enjoyed all the calls and texts from alums, family, friends, a lot of competitors, a lot of guys we've played against for the last 15 years, coaches at other schools in the GAC. It's been really cool to just live this whole experience with the whole East baseball community, which goes back 14, 15 years.
Right. Yeah, it's been a big deal for the school too, you know, being the first team sport to go to the Final Four, so that's big for the school. You know, it's unfortunate for the guys, they don't really get to enjoy it firsthand because school's out, but that's all right. It's all right, I guess, right? You got some PO power right here.
Pitchers always want to hit.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
You might have to cut this whole segment out. We got a dude that never touches a bat. Although he was 1 for 1 for a while, and I had to look at him at 1,000 batting average for a while. During the year, we had to get him a couple of bats just so I didn't sort and see Brendan Jackson at the top of the list.
You about done over there? Oh, there. Okay. We
Rockets are right when we said. Maybe we'll get a bat this weekend.
Yeah.
Guys, one last thing. How are you treating this? First time for yourselves as coaches. You know, what's the process here, and how are you engaging in that process to help the kids be prepared?
You know, we're trying to stick to the plan as far as like what we normally do with routines. You know, we're trying to just keep everything the same as best we can. But it's difficult when seniors are graduated already and everybody else is out of school. So that's hard to have perfect routine. But, you know, we try and just keep our routine the same. Yeah, really, that's it. Just trying to keep our routine the same.
It's been more
is the focus.
PO power.
PO power.
It's been more work on the old man here and I the last few days.
All right, get out of there.
Memorial Day weekend, we could have that one extra day for the logistics of going down there. You know, he's been busy all day with hotels and buses and itineraries and emailing parents, and it's been a ride. We've had some good coaches kind of warn us for all of this, but it's kind of like being a dad. You don't know until your first time, and I think that parallels real well right now. We don't know the ropes yet, so hopefully we get to do this again sometime in the not too distant future. We'll have it down a little better.
Yeah, it's fun figuring it out.
Guys, what would you like to say to all the past players?
Thanks. You know, I mean, I've texted a bunch of dudes and responded to a bunch of alum saying, you know, thank you for this one's for you. You know, your son. Those guys that are here at the district championship game and then quarterfinal game, and it means a lot to me to still keep in contact with them. So
we talk to a lot of those guys.
Yeah, some of them
are grown-ups with us now. We're starting to have FZE baseball grandbabies come along, and I can't tell you how many just random texts. I have my phone on me because I do Game Changer, and so I see a lot of stuff throughout the game, but I know Russ checked his phone after the dust settled and had close to 70 text messages, former parents, former players. So
yeah, thanks I think is a good word, you know, because you know it means a lot to go through that journey for such a long time, you know, 14, 15 years, and not getting rewarded and not letting the players experience this. So it's kind of a bummer and unfortunate that those guys didn't really get to, but
I appreciate that they have the pride in us still. Like I went to Central Methodist. We had a good team when I was there, but they're like an NAIA national powerhouse right now, and I enjoy getting to say that I played at that school, and so I feel like we're giving some of the maybe less rewarded alumni the opportunity to have some pride in us now, even if their seasons didn't go as well as it could have.
Yep.
I appreciate Coach Hill allowing us to come out to the practice yesterday, giving us access to the players and whatnot. Very kind of you. Appreciate it, Coach. And we're going to be following them. We'll be down in Springfield following East, and appreciate you allowing us to stick the cameras in your face. I mean, you know, it's not normal at any school. I don't care how big you are. There's not a lot of cameras in the faces.
No, but I mean, how do you not love it?
Yeah, I think it's
You
fun.
know what I mean? How do you not enjoy that people are coming to talk to you about your Final Four appearance? You're making a run at state. And it brings good attention to the school, brings good attention to the program. I'm sure the kids are loving and eating it up.
Absolutely.
So,
and the kids are great. They were a lot of fun to talk to. I enjoy talking to the players, the high school level, because there's a lot of just, it's not motivated by anything other than we're just playing some ball, man.
or they're playing for each other, they're playing for their school.
Absolutely.
That's the fun part about high school baseball.
So, you've seen, as you said, East has had some talent. They've had their ups and downs. They've been in district finals, but just haven't crossed over that hump. But here they are. Let's look at the bracket a little bit. They got Platte County, which neither one of us know anything about.
We know that it's north of Kansas City. That's about it. So, just on the record, I am taking Platte County over Zumwalt East because we haven't picked East at all, and they've won every game. So, I'm picking Platte County so East wins.
There you go. There it is.
We did it last time.
Yes, you did. I ain't
Now,
kidding.
Kevin was serious, and he took Parkway Central.
Yeah, because he'd been on that bandwagon for most of the year.
And they've got good players,
Yeah.
but I don't know anything about Platte County, and secretly I'm going to be rooting for Zumwalt East.
When I was talking with
I'm fun betting, not really betting.
when I was talking with the coaches, one of the things that I thought was interesting with East is over the past, their bats have woke up. They've hit the ball, and it was interesting because you're talking they faced some really good arms in both St. Dominic and Parkway Central. And in watching these games, it wasn't, it wasn't bloops here, this, that, errors, whatnot. They were hitting the baseball. They're driving the baseball in the gaps. Against St. Dominic with Nate Kemp, they were consistently beating that right fielder. They drove the ball to the fence. So, guy that top of that lineup with Williams.
They put a 4 spot up in the first?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Williams, Davis, Penn, they're big, strong kids, man. They are big, strong kids.
Well, and hitting's contagious.
Right.
It's amazing how it works. It doesn't matter what level. It could be the Cardinals. I'm going to score 2 for 3 straight games, then I'm going to score 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
The difference is here they can go on some runs where you can have 3-4 days in a row, 3-4 games in a row where you can put 6, 7, 8 runs on the board. It's very contagious, as most people know.
And it looks like we're going to get a similar combination that has run them through the district final to the quarterfinals. Lucas McGill, the lefty, he sits around 78 to 81 in there. He's got a good curveball, and I love this kid on the mound because of his attitude. He wants the baseball. I talked to him out there in the field. We'll probably catch up with him down in Springfield, but he wants the baseball, and you gotta love that, right?
I hate 78 to 81 as a hitter on the left side, and I'm guessing most people think the same thing. So, crafty lefties are fun to have.
Yes.
They're not fun to face. The kickers with crafty lefties is you've got to know when it's time to get them out. When people start bailing up on them. We'll throw crafty lefties against the better teams because you throw a stock righty that's chucking 85, 86, or even
Right.
88. That's things you see all day. But then you bring in the kid throwing 3/4, 78. It's moving like a wiffle ball.
And here's the other part of this. They still have Brendan Jackson, who they gave him a couple weeks off at the end of the season. That's kind of where you saw them go and fight. He was, at one point, I believe Brendan was 8-0 with a .58 ERA, okay? And got some little arm trouble there. He's throwing low 80s from the left side. He's a lefty. So you still have Brendan Jackson there. You have Gibson there. You still have Aubuchon. I think they're in good shape over the next 2 days to really make a good run at that.
Well, now it's you do everything you can to win the first one, and then you see what you have left for the second one.
Right?
That's all you can do for this situation.
Right. They got there's another kid that they hadn't thrown. He had some arm trouble, Schneider.
They still have the bullpen. They had the freshman, Hollingsworth. I don't know if we'll see much there. It just depends. But there's a lot of senior leadership on there between Jackson, Aubuchon, Davis, Huebner. And then you have the 2 sophomores that are electric in Williams and Carter.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know Carter. Kevin talks about Carter all the time because he can run, and when we had the game of the week, we watched him run. So, and Williams is a good player, good third baseman. Still young, coming into his own, but looks the part.
Yes,
and is having a good season.
He led the team, hit over 400 this season. A lot of extra base hits. Had a big time OPS. I think he was over 1,000 OPS. So. They have the pieces in place. Like I said, we're not talking much about Platte County because we don't know anything about Platte County. The other semifinal there, though, Festus, another local team, Metro, down south, playing Willard there that's around the Springfield area. That place will be packed because those Willard fans come out to watch.
Yes, and it's a home game for Willard.
Yeah.
So they're going to be tough. I mean, they had a good game against Elias Catholic. Elias Catholic has a lot of very good players. A 2-1 win for Willard. I think this is going to be a tough matchup, I think, for Festus, but anybody can beat anybody.
Absolutely, bud. Absolutely. And what we saw, and what we talked about with Kevin last week, he liked Festus. He picked Festus, and I think that's going to be – I think both of these are going to be good matchups. I think you're going to see some good baseball in this. I think I'm going to stick with Willard on the top of that bracket, and I think we'll see East and Willard in that final.
Uh-oh.
I picked them last week, so as long as you and Kevin are going, we're in good shape. Right. That's the way it was last week, so I'm not trying to break precedent.
Okay, perfect. We're good. Your grandma's going to come at you, buddy.
And, in the championship game, I'm as anything, it's not a pick 'em at that point. You're playing, I think both teams there. It's just going to be a really good baseball game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be – well, I have Platte County. But but I would I think from our side, the locals, I think it would be fun for East or Festus. Personally, East because we know the teams and the players more.
Right.
So
I'm looking forward to it, man. So that's our Class 5 preview for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed the interviews. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter. We're going to be following the teams through the weekend. We'll be down there with Kevin Mulder, and we're going to talk. We're going to do some interviews out at some practices. Follow the coaches there on the field, and hopefully we'll be able to, keep you up to date on what's happening down there in Springfield, Missouri. So stay tuned. We appreciate you joining with us. Good luck to all the coaches. Coach Hill, Coach Loutzy, appreciate you guys. Good luck to you this weekend. John Varner. Matt, good stuff.
As always, sir.
Folks, always remember, have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes, and you hitters,
hit them where they ain't.
Good advice. We'll see you next time.